If you just learned about federal government contracting, I'm here to walk you through what you should do next. Having a business is vital. If you have a business, just hang on, I'm going to talk about what to do. If you do not have a legal business, the first step is to establish one. You can establish a sole proprietorship and get a tax ID through the IRS.gov website, or you can establish on your own, or you can pay someone to create a corporation for you, an LLC, limited liability corp, an S corp, a C corp. The options are endless, but a business, a legal one, is required. For those of you who already have a business, if your business has a very niche name such as Brenda's Braiding, feel free to create a doing business as. You can abbreviate it to BB Consulting, BB Federal, BB Group, whatever your heart desires. So then that way it has a different connotation so that when somebody comes across the name, they don't think, oh, you're selling braiding to the government. Instead, it's, oh, you're selling a variety of products or services, or one product and service. So no one is influenced by the name of your company, negatively influenced, that is. You want them to be positively influenced. For anyone who has a nonprofit or you're thinking of starting a nonprofit, here's my suggestion. Only register your nonprofit for federal government contracts if you plan on bidding on work located at grants.gov. Otherwise, you're not going to receive all of the benefits that I'm about to discuss. So instead, create a for-profit business and register that with the federal government. When forming your business, or if you have an existing business, you must have a physical address. You cannot use a virtual address, a post office box, a UPS store, a USPS. No, a physical address is needed, meaning you can have meetings there in your home, in an apartment, in a mobile home, in an office. A physical address is required. Searching on Sam.Gov is one of the greatest tools that you should take full advantage of right now, before even following the next steps. For instance, someone reached out recently and they're like, hey, I'm in the courier business, wanting to know if there are a variety of contracts. On the federal government side, there are a ton of them. But because the federal government is all about supporting small businesses, you don't have to sell what you're selling. That's why this space is so beautiful. I have a PhD in industrial organizational psychology. My name is Dr. Kizzy Marie Parks. I have contracts for vape inspection. I've sold Oculus headsets. I've had contracts for warehouse work. And you can do the same too. So go on Sam.Gov, advanced search, and take a look at all that's out there so you are well aware of the different opportunities. Because the next thing is to think about, do you want to be an entrepreneur in this space, or do you want to be an expert? When I first started out over 10 years ago, I was an expert. I was Dr. Parks. I was the diversity and inclusion guru, predominantly for the Department of Defense. It wasn't until several years later that I actually stepped into staffing and IT into so many different areas. And I'm so glad that I did, because it not only significantly increased our profit, revenue, of course, the team, the agencies that we impacted, but it increased our breadth of services. So we were like an Amazon. Amazon started out selling books. Look at now. You can get diapers, you can get Doritos, and you can get other things that begin with D. So the same goes for you. If you want to be an expert, just be aware that the pool of opportunities may be small. They may be tiny. When you become an entrepreneur and you have that mindset, the world is your ocean. There's so many opportunities that you can bid on. You also want to make sure that you establish a business bank account, because when you register, which I'm about to share with you how to do that, a bank account is needed. You must enter in that information. It's okay to enter in whatever bank account you have when you go through the registration process, but you will eventually need a business bank account because the federal government pays via ACH. Because you're probably wondering, okay, this seems great. I've heard about it. How do we get paid? How do they give you money? Do they take taxes out? The money is directly deposited to you into the bank account that you will enter into Sam.gov. There are times where they want to swipe a Visa and they will want to run a credit card. So having that option, you can go through QuickBooks, you can get a merchant account through your bank. That's why it's great to have a relationship with your business banker. The smaller the bank, the better. I once had a bank account with a company called Cogent Bank. They were tiny, they were great, they worked with me. I didn't have any hiccups with them. Especially when you're first starting out, those are the type of banks who want to take a chance on you and they're willing to take a chance. Where bigger banks, they have their algorithms, they have their data centers. Their focus is on a different type of clientele. So you want to be set up so you can receive payment. And what's great about receiving credit card payment is fast. We receive credit card payment. I think the most we've ever run on a government contract was right around $30,000. We've run contracts for a little less than $3,000. So those are options. The government does not remove any tax from your payment. You as a business owner, this is something that you have to handle. And I suggest that you look into getting a platform like QuickBooks, having an awesome accountant, a bookkeeper, making sure that you are taken care of tax-wise, because you don't want to end up like, celebrities and others who have been in situations where they end up having a tax liability, especially because you're breaking into federal government contracting. And that's one of the questions that they ask. Do you have any outstanding taxes owed in which you're not making any payments? It's okay if you're on a repayment plan. It's another thing if you haven't made any payments. So making sure you're on top of your taxes is super vital. To become a prime government contractor, meaning you hold the contract. So we have a contract right now with the FDA, it's a multi-million-dollar contract to inspect vape tobacco shops. The contract is in my name, the name of my company, KPC, and we have a subcontractor who we partnered with on it. In order for us to be eligible, you must have a cage code. Go to Sam.gov, like Uncle Sam, register for a cage code. You will need to make sure you have a physical address, your tax ID, you will need a business email. It's imperative. If right now you can't afford a domain, it's okay. You can have at Gmail, anyone old school, at Outlook, at Hotmail. You can have emails like that. They will also ask for a phone number. This is all vital information as well as your banking information. It will take approximately an hour, maybe 2 hours to register on Sam.gov just because they ask so many questions. And while you're doing it, it's like, whoa, what is this? What am I signing up for? There's just these different regulations and they're questions that they have to ask. Don't get freaked out about it. You never want fear to keep you from your goal. This is a space where there's over $800 billion and the government has this requirement to spend 25% of their contracting funds with small businesses. Maybe wondering, do you need to have some kind of set aside, like a disadvantaged business enterprise, a woman-owned set aside, a veteran set aside, a minority business-owned set aside? When you register in Sam.gov with a for-profit organization, you will automatically become a small business. You will be eligible for total small business set-aside. Unless your business is doing 30, 40, 50, or you have maybe 1,500 employees, then you may not be. But for the vast majority of you watching right now, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. You will automatically be known as a small business, which is awesome because then the companies that you're competing against, it's much smaller. And it's like the gym. A lot of people have memberships. How many people go to the gym? The same goes for federal government contracting. There are hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of companies registered in Sam.gov, but how many actually bid? Not too long ago, we bid on an opportunity with the Navy. We unfortunately didn't win. 2 of us bid, 2. And the opportunity was a little less than $300,000. 2 companies. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let anything hold you back. Once you register on Sam.gov, initially you will be issued a UEI number. Then they need to do some verification and you will be issued a cage code. That time frame in between can be from days to weeks. So during this time, continue searching on Sam.gov. You don't have to log in to do it. It doesn't cost anything, as well as learn how to find these bids. There's some tricks out there. Also learn, what do all these documents mean? And lastly, what does it take for you to bid and win? These topics alone, I dedicate to separate videos and in my Facebook group. But you can at least start the process becoming comfortable with it. Because at the end of the day, in the federal government contracting space, it does require reading, email, and writing. But this is no different than anything you've ever been through. It's no different than what your kids may be doing right now. And we do the same thing, whether we're scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever platform you're on. It's just now it can seem intimidating because it's like an attachment, PDF, it's a Word document, it's Excel. So the more you look at it, research has shown you're going to become more familiar, you're going to become more comfortable. That familiarity is going to kick in. So I suggest that you watch as much content as possible, not only on my channel, on different channels that are out there. You join my Facebook group, because the more you learn, apply, and adjust, the more successful you will be. I'm continuously learning. I have mentors. I have coaches. Because in order to go all the way to the stratosphere, I need a team. And you do too. So keep learning, applying, and adjusting. Also, while you're waiting for your cage code to be issued, research funding options. I just received a DM today where a person said that they won a contract, but they're unable to fulfill it, so it was canceled. I asked for more details, and what I have found is it is super easy to win a contract. I promise you, it is so easy to win a contract. The challenge comes in funding and/or executing the contract. I don't know what happened with this particular person, but more than likely, they didn't have the funds. And you don't want to be put in that situation, because then it's going to deflate you. You're going to want to give up when there are easy ways to get around that. So while you're waiting for your cage code, look into funding opportunities. There's a plethora of funding opportunities. Whether you have real low credit score, you have a high credit score, you're somewhere in between. There are funding opportunities for you. So look into it, or look into using your credit card, family and friends, because if you know that you're able to win a contract where you need to put up, let's say, $15,000, but your profit is $10,000, you're gonna be able to figure out a way to fund it. And those are the type of margins you can get on various contracts here. I was just interviewing Antonio, and he was talking about an opportunity he bid on where his profit was going to be $14,000 a month. Yes, you heard me right, $14,000 a month. It's amazing. The sky is the limit. Once you get that magical email that says you have been granted a cage code, now it's time for you to step out there and to bid, bid, and bid. While it may be a little scary, everything new has a little bit of fear, but so much excitement. There's so much upside, and I'm here for you. I'm cheering you on. I'm gonna keep making content. Again, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget, everything is possible. And check out my book, GovCom Winner's Way. You can get this at winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. Until next time.